What's up, everyone? This is the Destroyer 229, and welcome back to Let's Play Persona 4 Golden. Last time, Yosuke wanted us to go and get a motorcycle license, or at least a scooter license at the very least. He's pretty serious about it, so may as well indulge him on that. In this episode, we're going to be doing something a little bit different compared to what you would normally see on a full Social Link run. Today, we're going to head on into the TV world. You might think that that's a bit strange to try to do, but the reason that I want to go and try to do stuff in the TV world is a simple matter that I need money. Playing on the highest difficulty does mean that I get less money, less experience, and enemies hit harder and I hit less. And the problem with that then becomes it snowballs really quick. To just look at the levels, we were really supposed to be around level 25 when we fought Kanji. We're level 22, and we went all the way down to level 18 in terms of our other party members. So not only are we under-leveled, but trying to manage to beat Shadow Teddy, and especially when we eventually have to go up against Shadow Mitsuo, that's going to be a lot harder. I do feel like by the time that we hit Naoto's dungeon, that will be fine. But I very much would like to try to get better equipment. And the reason that I want more equipment and not better personas is that even though personas will have higher stats, we do still need levels, and the skills of those associated personas aren't going to be super helpful to us. Using up more of our HP means we have to devote more resources in recovering it, and trying to recover SP just means that we need more sources for an even more valuable resource. So all of that combined with needing to deal with the Fox, if we can manage to do this, then that's one less Fox visit that we need to go to, and we can get a lot more money. So that is going to be my primary concern. And since we don't need to worry about social links today, we're not going to be wasting any sort of time trying to do that, because our other options are just screw off doing a useless social stat, doing the Mega Beef Bowl challenge to try to get a book, which we're pretty close to getting anyway, and doing fishing, but we don't even have enough bait to get all of our attempted tries. So you know what? Today is a perfect free day to just head into the TV world, go and do all that stuff. We'll even get some extra items from doing quests while we're there in the TV world. And now we have another quest. Crucifix? Sure, I can try to find one for you. Alright, so now we have the Crooked Cross. I did kind of look around school to see what all quests that we needed. So there's 3 here in school that we can try to accept. And our second one is Miss Sofue. Sure. What do you need? Raw materials, huh? Yeah, I think I might know a few places. Alright, so now that's the poll. I get the feeling I might not be able to get as much money, considering that pretty much everything in Kanji's dungeon is associated with a quest. So that might be a little bit of a problem. At the very least, though, it is raining, and there's definitely special shadows that are only available in the rain. So that'll help out a little bit. No, can't say that I have. Sure, what's wrong? I think I might be able to help. Alright. So if we look at our quests, that... There are quite a few things here. So we have the Crooked Cross, Coal, the Old Key. I'm not entirely sure if that necessarily limits us on certain quests, but I think we'll probably be fine. I think we got as much as we're going to get right now, at the very least. And worst case scenario, if we do miss a quest and need to head back into Kanji's dungeon, it's not the end of the world. I wanted to use the soda machine, but this is fine anyway. Because Shiroku has a sale on rainy days. Okay, so we do have a bunch of new items. Ointments, medical kits, and elemental attack items. Let's see. So what exactly could we use? We got plenty of go-homes. Don't think I really need anything for that. I need revival beads. We'll buy 3 revival beads just so that way we have something. I do have a medical kit, but I'll go ahead and buy 2 ointments. Just so that way I have some HP recovery as well. I do still need to head into Daidara's as well, but I am going to... I don't want to go into the store, I just want to go to the vending machine. Let's buy some taps. Okay. So yeah, that is the unfortunate thing with trying to do this with the quests, is that I'm not going to get that much in terms of sellable items. Hopefully the rarer shadows will make up for that, though. In the meantime, though, I think I am going to want to put all of my money into good armor for myself. I do have Triumph, which already works pretty well, and is the best sword that I can even get. So just making sure that I minimize my chances of death, I think will work out pretty well. In terms of anything else, there are a few other things that might be good. Passion Sweats might not be bad if I want to outfit Kanji. Just because Kanji's a higher level, I do plan on replacing Yosuke with him. Honestly, an Auto Tarukaja on Kanji wouldn't be bad, but that would be after I outfit everyone. And just having just the highest amount of defense that I could possibly get, I think we'll go ahead and grab that. We'll equip it. We won't sell the coat, though. And we can try to outfit Kanji. Yeah, we'll give him the knife-proof coat. Do we need any sort... Do we have any sort... No, we don't have any sort of XP boosting items. Those are usually pretty rare. Okay. In terms of accessories... Yeah, Thunder Vow. That should work. Okay, so we should be good. The only thing that I'm really missing is having some decent personas, but the other good thing is that, I mean, we'll get money in the TV world anyway, and I do need levels just so that way I can eventually fuse Narcissus. So if I can make Narcissus, probably when Take Minakana will be a stretch. It'd be great if we can get Take Minakana as well. That's gonna be a stretch, and we're definitely not gonna be able to make Sati. But at the very least, that'll pretty much be what our goal is. We're gonna try to get, at the very least, beat the boss, and try to get to level 27 at least. I feel like 27 and everyone else kind of being relatively close to that should be good enough to at least begin Risei's dungeon. In terms of seeds, I think we're good for now. I've got plenty of chest keys, so I don't think I need any wheat at the time being. And I already bought a ton of tomatoes too, so I think we'll be fine.
Oh, it's raining.
Okay, so not really a whole lot. Let's go ahead and enter the TV world.
Let's go.
Okay. So blah, 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 blah. That is very much the reason that we are here. We'll go ahead and pat the fox. So, kind of middle of the road in terms of what we're going to be doing with that. Just in that way, in case something stupid happens, I'm going to go ahead and make a save right now. That way, in case we die, which we shouldn't with my armor, we should be good. And the only other thing that I might want would be an upgrade to my personas. Girumakala is at least a good fallback and isn't too bad with his stuff. As opposed to just getting something stupidly powerful, like, say, Hellel. Like I said, not really super great except for just stats. I wouldn't really be able to do any spells, which is then going to be a giant problem if I'm trying to get shuffle time. Alright, so let's go ahead and head on over to the bathhouse. And now we can organize the party. So we'll go ahead and grab Kanji, Chie, and Yukiko. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Alright, so with a new venture into the TV world, let's maybe switch up our costumes and maybe show off some of Kanji's outfits too. Alright, well this is a very motley crew. Alright, let's go ahead and just go on ahead and see how far we can go today. Hopefully this will just take one episode, but we'll see how far we get. And we do actually have something that I'd like to discuss today too.
Victory!
I guess that's about as close as you're gonna get to Minato's pose. Or Makoto, I guess. Anyway, in terms of things to potentially talk about, I do have a few things that I could potentially go into.
Let's attack with all our strength.
And we can show Kanji's cut-in, too, for his all-out attack.
Ready? Be gone!
Kind of. It was a very, very poor placement for Kanji right there. Alright, not really a whole lot that we can do, so we'll just grab the money and run. So, I kind of wanted to do this more when we were closer to... I'm gonna switch to Ippon Data. I tried Vitala, but I need SP recovery passively. I was kind of wanting to wait on these sorts of discussions, specifically until we got to Risei's dungeon. But I think that now would be a good time to at least delve into one of these topics. And the topic for today is dealing with how Persona does romance roots. So, one of the topics that I wanted to talk about kind of deals with... I guess one thing would be... I guess... I am having a very hard time actually trying to start this. Let's say matchmaker. That's a good topic for this. Ooh, and we get some Rain exclusive enemies too. The Rainy Brother 4.
It's pretty weak, so I bet this'll be a cinch.
Okay. Null's physical.
2 enemies
Cool.
left.
Null's lightning. Cool. Okay, they're weak to ice.
Chie-chan is sliding them left and right.
Okay, well these guys are gonna be annoying. Oh wow, she even does a Featherman pose. I didn't even see that before. Okay, I hate that I have to cut my experience, but go ahead and do that so we can keep our sweet bonus. And double fangs too.
Have I gotten a little stronger?
Ooh, Yukiko levels up. Nice. So, what do I mean by matchmaker? So, one thing that I've always kind of found a bit, you know, not really surprising, but just a little disappointing, is that the main character is the only one who ever seems to forge any, like, actual relationships in these types of games. And granted, this isn't just exclusive to Persona, this is generally true for, like, anime games of the sort, where even though you have a team or anything like that, if there's any sort of romance component, it is only with your character. Getting tired of fighting these stupid rocks. Fire suppressor, cool. So, it just... I feel like if you wanted to try to have a bit more of a, I guess, sort of realistic way to go about this, it would be that it would be possible for your party members to also be dating each other. Now, I don't mean this as a full-blown, like, Fire Emblem, you can pair anyone with anyone else. Gotcha! Alright. Successfully beat the Gold Hand and a Fire Pin. Anyway, so when I refer to as matchmaking, I don't mean something like Fire Emblem where you can have, like, supports with your other party members and then, like, they'll be able to have relationship. Now, I'm not talking about something like that. I'm more so talking about, like, how if you basically make the right decisions, you can kind of nudge party members into finding true feelings for each other. Alright, so I kind of lost my train of thought. Anyway, so I don't mean something like, say, support conversations where they could have conversations with each other. Although, that wouldn't necessarily be bad for more... Ooh, Kintabi Guskull. Gosku. Okay. Is that better than the leather shoes? Technically, yes, but that hit rate is atrocious. Let's maybe not. So, what exactly do I mean by this? Well, I don't necessarily mean that it needs to be anything too complicated. But, oh, Yosuke's chilling with the fox. So we get a cough drop. Cool. It's people. Oh no, it's Fox. Okay. So, great if I could actually talk. Okay, and the Fox doesn't do anything here. So, what exactly do I mean by pairing up? Well, the thing is that for Persona games, they do tend to have some pair-ups that, you know, kind of make some degree of sense, and the characters do have some sort of chemistry with one another. The most obvious example would be, say, Kanji and Naoto, but you even have combos like, say, Chie and Yosuke, or, if we're going with Persona 5, On and Ryuji, or Futaba and Yusuke. There are these different pairings that seem to work pretty well for the characters, and they do have some natural chemistry with one another. Yet, nothing ever comes of it, and in fact, you can very easily just disrupt any sort of chemistry that would have. So, instead of just leaving those sorts of plot threads to just kind of wither and die, if you have zero intention of romancing the girl in the first place, could something like that be utilized? So, the mechanics for this, I wouldn't imagine to be too complicated. So, for one, another gold hand. So for one, this wouldn't be applying to every single party member available. There would be some party members where there's no way that they can be paired up with anyone regardless. So, like in the case of Persona 4, that would be like Yukiko, Teddy, Rise. None of them could be paired up in any other capacity. Oh, you get back here! You get back here, you! Yeah! God, barely got by that with the skin of my teeth. Actually, that healing worked out pretty well, too, all things considered. So, how exactly would this work? So, it's less so like needing to, like, do a bunch of hoops, and the way that I see it in its most simplified form would be that you see that these characters interact with each other. They may even, like, kind of be, like, generally maybe a little bit flirty in the main story, if we're talking about something to add in, like, Persona 6. And what you would need to do would be essentially to pick just a proper option at each character's rank 10. You pick both of those options, and as long as it's done by a certain date, then they will basically confess to each other and be starting to date one another. So just a simple enough thing like that. You don't need to go through a bunch of hoops. You don't need to do multiple flags. Ideally, you wouldn't need to do that throughout their social links, because that shouldn't be the primary focus of the social link. It should be more of like a side thing that comes up in it.
Now's our chance for a beatdown.
And now we can actually see Kanji's full character art.
It's my turn. Bring it on!
Much better. Alright, now do we get anything good with Shuffle Time? No, we just lose our bonus. Cool. Grab the Persona stats, I guess. Cool, that's exactly what I wanted. I wanted to lose my Shuffle Time.
Nice, Senpai!
Hey, finally got a level up. So, like I said, it would just be a simple matter of you pick the right option at the end of... I'm getting quite a few Magatsu Xandrites, which are really good. Ooh! Now Yukiko's level 21 and has Agi Lao. So yeah, getting those Magatsu Xandrites gonna be very important. We're gonna need quite a few of those. Alright, and thankfully, since we have the key, we can just kind of shortcut our way. Yeah, let's just go ahead and head on over to the next floor. So, yeah, like I mentioned, it would just be a simple matter of picking the right option at rank 10. They may have some feelings towards each other through other ways, but yeah, just rank 10 and by a certain date. I feel like that's a little bit more important since it's essentially like they have one opportunity to actually kind of confess their feelings for one another. And if they don't realize it by that date, then they just don't ever really figure it out. So, once again, to give an example, let's say that we'll use Persona 4 as a base, where it would be possible to to pair up Yosuke and Chie. Now, it should be noted, since I didn't mention this before, the only way to get the girl to have that option is specifically on the platonic route. You do not get the option to kind of have them flirt with someone else if you are actively dating them. That option will just straight up not be available. So, if you choose to date the girl, then there's no even possibility of this scene happening. So, essentially, if there was... Let's say there's an option in Yosuke's rank 10 after you do, like, the whole, like, mono beat each other up at the riverbed. There was some sort of option where Yosuke basically says, like, I finally gotten over, like, realizing about Saki and being able to move on. I'm wondering how exactly I might be able to do that. And then you mentioned that maybe Chie could be able to, like, I don't know, something of that nature to, like, instead of being like, oh, you got us, like, I'm here for you, bro, or why don't you, like, ask Chie for help? Something of that nature, and then he goes, Chie, huh? Huh, yeah, maybe. And thanks to the Emperor, Amino Uzume leveled up. And she gets Rei Patra, which I guess I had some space for. So when it comes to Chie, her rank 10 would just be like, again, you and her at the riverbank. And she's basically kind of thinking like, oh, like what exactly she should do. She tells you that she wants to be a cop. Or maybe that realization comes with the end. Whatever. She basically kind of tells you more that like you're like her best friend and yada yada yada. Eventually may get to the point where it's like, I wonder who maybe I can spar with, and you could mention Yosuke. And then her response would be, ha, Yosuke. Actually. And it's one of those things where they don't really, like, take it too seriously at the time, but it's one of those things where they go, huh, wait a minute. I might need to think about this. And, assuming that all this is done prior to a certain date, let's say for the sake of argument that for those two, the deadline would be the school festival.
A rare monster! Beat the stuffing out of it!
Persona! Come on down!
2 enemies! Charge through them!
It's over. choice beef.
Are you for freaking real?
Persona!
Well, at least I got one of them. And Chie gets Assault Dive. Which I guess would be better than Skewer. Oh, and next she gets his counter.
Alright, powered up!
And Kanji levels up. Nice. So essentially what this would be just at some point during the school festival, if you have the conditions met, you would see a scene, maybe not necessarily even having your character being there, you just see as the player, that, say, Yosuke asks Chie out to just kind of enjoy the festival with him. And she kind of thinks about it and then accepts it. And then you kind of see just a little bit of what they go through. And then at the end, they basically kind of agree to, be a couple together. Now, what exactly would be the point of this? Well, I think that one thing that you would be able to get from this, well, actually a few things. One would be optional scenes that would be beyond just the initial scene of those two characters getting together. So you'd be able to open up various things like, say, a double date, where you could go with your own character with whoever they're dating with, and the two party members that you manage to get together. So one thing that you could potentially do that would be less just role-playing and more like an actual gameplay benefit would be that these characters would then steal Pannier. Hold on. Okay, plus 20 to SP. I think that would work well on Yukiko. So one thing that might be good for gameplay purposes would be that with these characters getting together, it obviously changes their heart or whatever sort of state of mind that they are, and it unlocks new power within them, giving them access to skills that would be otherwise unavailable. Ooh, more rainy enemies.
3 enemies, but they're too
Rainy
slow.
Sister Force. Of course.
3 enemies left.
Let me guess. Ice. Yep. I always find that the rainy enemies are, not always, but more often than not, weak to ice. Okay, do that, lose sun. I've been seeing sun so much. It is insane. So, if we want to use the aforementioned example, like Yosuke would get access to Pantarei, and Chie would get access to something like, I don't know if she gets this in the game ordinarily, but something like Heat Riser. I was lucky enough to get another Emperor. Okay, Amino Uzume is looking pretty good. Now, I don't think that it would necessarily be fair if, like, there's only access to certain party members and not others, because I feel like that's kind of a give and take sort of thing. Although, the idea of giving skills based off of, who you're romancing, not exactly just limited to this idea, but that's something to be saved for another day. But essentially, if there is a gameplay purpose to doing so, then it would kind of give an interesting dynamic, I would think. Because you are basically trading certain skills on certain party members with others, and especially, like, do you use them in the party? Is it something that you should be prioritizing? Is this something that you may be using for other purposes? If we, say, go with sneak peek of a different... Oh, wait, I have Herman. I can just walk right past you. If we... Ooh, I can run up and beat you. Okay, well, 2 out of 3 wasn't bad.
I ain't gonna fall behind.
And now I'm level 24. And Ippon Tatsura leveled up. Moodle boost. I guess... I honestly feel like I should be using Tsukukaja when I face off against those hands. It's because they have just stupid high evasion. But I'll go ahead and get rid of Sukukaja. I feel like either a Ma Sukukaja or some sort of Sukunda would be better.
Have I gotten a little stronger?
Yukiko leveled up. Nice. So to kind of go with a little bit of a sneak peek for what I want to talk about otherwise, if you have to potentially choose between the skills between a girl that you romance or if they romance someone else. So opening up a lot of different, almost sort of tactical sort of way. I mean, it is kind of using like Fire Emblem sort of mechanics to, you know, who exactly would be the best pairing for the best optimal result in combat sort of thing, which, you know, may not necessarily be the best way to go about it, but it certainly would be a more interesting way to go about it, whether or not, because there are going to be people who don't care about the tactical benefits and just want what would be the best for a role-playing, a story perspective. Yes, so that was a quick thing that you sometimes see when Chia Galactic punts. You see an insane amount of damage that it does.
Damn, couldn't finish it.
Here goes, Yukiko!
Oh! It's always nice to see whenever that happens. Okay, shoot. Right, I lost. Because I didn't want... That sucks. When you look away from the cards, that loses your sweet bonus. And all because I didn't want to lose my gold hand money because I, of course, pulled another sun. Man. So, I mean, in that case, like, people may not necessarily care. But there are other people who they don't really see much of a point in it, or they don't interact with that sort of content. So giving an actual tactical purpose to it would bring those people to actually interact and think about what exactly the choices they make in terms of the social links. And before we really chase this guy down, I'm gonna have Yukiko use Medea. And let's maybe hunt him down.
I got it. I live for this part.
Well, that got scary towards the end. Whenever they freaking get Yukiko. Yukiko's the one to heal. But still, 2 more gold hands taken care of. It is also a good thing with the rain is that you have an increased chance of gold hands. So that honestly helps out a lot as well. But anyway, so yeah, just being able to choose how exactly you want to interact with that content, whether you do it for role-playing reasons, for personal reasons, or for tactical reasons. Whatever you want to use, you can use those sorts of bonuses in order to, you know, gain some sort of benefit. Whether that is just from a role-playing aspect, a tactical aspect, or a bit of both. So that is something that I would honestly like to see at some point. Even if it doesn't come with any actual bonuses, I think being able to at least kind of nudge your party members into having their own relationships and develop their stories that way, I think would be a neat way of being able. So just being able to have some sort of bonus, even if they don't include any sort of skills and it's purely for roleplay purposes, I think having your party members able to actually have interconnectivity and being able to interact with each other in more ways that are outside of your character, I think would help out a lot. I think it is one of the strengths that Persona 3 has over 4 and 5, is that Cs has lies outside of the main character. They have interactions beyond just your main character. And so it feels that they have a lot more personality that way. Meanwhile... Ooh, another one. No! They disappeared! They hit a wall? Oh, that sucks. I didn't realize that. I thought they'd just get up. I honestly thought they'd just get up and start running again. Oh, well, that stinks. Wait, like, even if it's just... actually, lost my train of thought. So yeah, the investigation team kind of does have some interconnectivity, but they all really work well as a unit, as a team. And honestly, the Phantom Thieves really does feel like that they should have more. They do have moments here and there, but they seem very few and far between. And I think just having that extra layer of interactivity, especially if it's optional, especially if it's one that you personally had to work for, I think would give at least like the relationships as well as the connectivity between party members feel that much more stronger and feel a lot more fleshed out as characters. So that's just my idea. Do I think it's going to be in Persona 6? No. Honestly, any of these like interesting ideas are all pie in the sky stuff anyway. But it is just, I think, a nice thing to be able to kind of think about and see. Oh, crap. Where did it go? Oh, it went through the door! I did not see where it went. And I got another one of these stupid pairs of shoes. Oh, crap. I seriously didn't see it go through the damn door because of the freaking large shadow. Oh, that's so annoying. So yeah, again, do I think it'll be in Persona 6? No. Again, pie in the sky stuff. Don't think it would be anything that Atlas would try to do. But I think it would be a neat thing to just kind of maybe not miss that. I feel like it would be a nice thing in order to, you know, look into. I think it would be a neat thing if Persona did something like that to kind of make the characters feel more than that they exist just for the benefit of the player. That they have their, to an extent, their own agency as well. And what they particularly want. There we go. So yeah, so even though you help facilitate that, they still come to that on their own. So, I don't know. I think that would be a neat thing. I think it would also fit into the themes of Persona, especially since having those sorts of relationships honestly should come with additional benefits, one way or the other. After all, Persona is the strength of one's heart, and what stronger sense of heart would there be than if you opened it to someone else? Ooh.
I smell 4 enemies. Show them
New
your
rain
stuff.
enemies. The Cloud Girl Pot.
It's pretty weak, so
Okay, let's try Mamoodle. How do you feel with darkness?
3 enemies defeated. Amazing, Sensei.
Alright, well that worked out pretty nicely. 3 out of 4 died to it, and they aren't even weak to it.
It's
They're weak to
down.
electricity.
Now's our chance for a beatdown. On and ready.
That worked out pretty nicely. And still no chance for frickin' sweet bonus. Oh well, Snuff Soul's still nice. Being able to also build up my SP items is also going to be really nice. Just building up my reserves in general is going to be something I'm really going to need for Risei's dungeon. So it's a good thing that we're also getting these items now. So yeah, so that's basically that little thought experiment. Alright, and now we can focus back on just trying to climb the rest of the dungeon. Apparently she also has her own unique voice clip. Oh, I wish I had shuffle time.
Cool, you leveled up!
But hey, we're at least level 25.
I leveled up!
And Yukiko leveled up.
Another level. Got
And
it.
Kanji leveled up. He gets a luck boost. And everyone's hurting because Yukiko, once again... It seems weird, because it seems like Yukiko just always seems to get confused whenever they target her. It's really annoying. Thunderpin. Oh well, whatever. Anyway, we don't really have anything much else to really talk about, so it's mostly just a matter of getting just a little bit more experience and then taking on the boss. I think that might be our first 4 card. Okay. So we're getting pretty close to the end here. We just need to manage to get to the end of this floor. We can take on the boss, and then we'll be able to go and just grind out as much experience as we can. Again, I would like to try to end up around level 27, but 25 is at least where I feel like I should be. So overall, wouldn't really be too bad. But still, if I can make it to the end, I can then use a go home. I can at the very least make Narcissus, because I have the level for that now. And we can go from there. Plus, I can also save. Actually, how much money do I have? Okay, not bad. I only started around like 5.5. So now I've got 39.5, which honestly isn't too bad. And a bead. Honestly, just having full recovery items are also really nice to have. And honestly, if I'm not going to get any usable equipment, beads and soul foods too are probably the best thing that I could hope for from the rare chests. So overall, it's not really that big of a deal. Okay, we just bypass you because you saw us. We fight you so that way we can get more stuff. Alright, again, 2 out of 3. I'm so close to being able to get it though. Alright, so counter. I guess I could get rid of Tarukaja. Tarukaja's nice, but I feel like I'm much better served just waiting until I could get like a Ma Tarukaja. That or Rebellion. Rebellion's nice, but honestly, with the fact that it's only a chance, yeah, I'm gonna get rid of Rebellion. I don't really use it anymore, especially since Chie can more easily use her turn to just attack more. So I feel like she's better off just dishing out more damage. Alright, and there's the stairs. And if we run into any trouble, we can just head straight towards them. Alright, more of the rain enemies that we've seen before. And a fire suppressor. Cool, great, fantastic. Alright, well at least we made it to the end though. And we can use a go home to get the heck out of here. So we'll go ahead and head back to the entrance, and we are going to go ahead and make a quick save. Reason for the quick save is just in case anything screwy happens, we can keep the progress that we already have. Now let's go ahead and register our personas. Alright, well, I'm not entirely sure he's the best persona, but he is a new persona, at least for my compendium. So, we are fusing away Vitala, Gur, and Valkyrie. In order to fuse, Narcissus. So, I mean, I could give him all of the elemental skills, which would be kind of nice. But what I want to do is Aroteru Kaja, Arosuku Kaja, and Growth 1. And then Dekaja. I think having a Dekaja would be better in case I run into more gold hands that use Sukukaja on themselves. And since I don't have Yosuke, I'm gonna need someone that has Dekaja. Alright. It does give us a duplicate on Aeon, though. And we did lose a few Arcanas that we did need. Resist fire. That actually would be pretty nice. It's just a shame that he has that stupid weak to physical. That is like the worst weakness to have. That's why I never use Decadabia. Decadabia is weak to physical, and it's just bad. Okay, so I didn't buy back anything specifically, mostly just because, again, saving money, and if I'm going to get back Personas at some point, I am going to need them. I don't have any Personas now that can make Sati, so I'll probably need to buy back... I'm thinking there was Gur and... what other Arcanas was I missing? There was Jester... Hierophant. Now I can't remember what... I can't remember what Arcanas I'm missing. Strength was one, because I got rid of Valkyrie. It was Strength. It was Jester. I honestly don't remember what the last one was. Devil. Devil was the other one. So actually I might need to buy back Vitala. Vitala brought in quite a bit, but I can worry about that in terms of just figuring out what Personas I want after the episode ends, and then I can buy them back start of next time. In the meantime, actually I may just want to call it a day here. I know we didn't get to the boss, but we've already been going on for quite a while. I have a lot of footage to cut down, and putting in a boss on top of that is already going to be super long, and I don't want to push it even further. So we're going to call it a day here. So, I guess that allows me a chance to buy back those Personas. Next time on Let's Play Persona 4 Golden. We're gonna go fight the boss, and I'll probably try to off-screen some additional training. Like I said, I would like to hit level 27. Mostly just because I... Oh wait, my XP is right there. Mostly just because I want to make sure that I can get that second persona. Because that way I fill out more of the compendium. I might want to hold off on actually fusing them until we enter Risei's dungeon. Just because, again, I'm trying to build up all of my money, and it's really hard to do that if I'm spending them buying back Personas. Hence why I not want to use up so much of my Arcanas. But at the very least, like, once we get that fusion, then we can look into potentially buying back more powerful Personas of Arcanas that we need. That way we have some decent Personas for battle, and Personas that we're also going to be using for social links. So I'll figure out what exactly I'm going to get after we take care of the boss. Until next time, everyone, take care.